Good afternoon, Still Creek families. This is Austin Biddy, your youth pastor here. Just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve your students and partner with you as we try to disciple and point your teens to the Lord. And so I just wanted to go over all that we went over in our parent meeting this Sunday. This is for if you weren't at the meeting, we just had a few things that we discussed, and it's important for us to be able to go over. First thing we did was just recognize all of our small group leaders, brought them on stage. In the email attached, you will be able to see all of the small group leaders with their numbers. I would just encourage you to shoot your small group leader a text. Just let them know, or your students, your kids' small group leader a text. Let them know how much you appreciate them. I know that would mean a lot because it's not possible for us to operate a ministry without them. And so we very much appreciate them. We started off with sharing about Josh's transition. Josh Hanashek has been leading our middle school ministry for quite a bit now, quite a few years now. And he and I and Paz all had started a college-age ministry that is now known as Three Strands in January of last year. And Josh has really been the front runner of that and has really taken the lead role in it. And that's really where his heart and his passions lie now. So Josh, in light of that, is going to be transitioning outside of middle school ministry and going to be transitioning full-time to that, as well as doing some other adult ministry as well. So he's with us until we hire somebody, but we currently are looking for somebody to be in that role. I'll post a link for you guys in this email for you guys to be able to see if you know of somebody or could send this to somebody, if they might be a good fit to lead our middle school students, it'd be much appreciated. We also just talked about the importance to just empower you as parents to be the primary disciple maker of your own children. We use Orange Curriculum, our family ministry does, and there's some statistics that they give us, and it's 40 hours a year is the average amount that we get to spend with your child in 1 year. And 3,000 hours is the amount of time on average that you get to spend with your child in 1 year. And we know we're not naive to believe that there's anything that we can do in our 40 hours that you can't outdo in your 3,000 hours. And so how important it is for you to own being the primary disciple maker for your child. We exist to support you and help you and equip you as a parent as best as I can and we can as a church family. But it's on you to model what it looks like to have personal word, prayer, and worship for your kids to be able to see that. They can't see me have a quiet time. They're not in my home and whatnot, but they can see you each day spend time in prayer. Or if you do that together as a family, of setting that example of what that should look like and could look like for them. There's going to be a bunch of upcoming events. I'll post those in the email here. I'm not going to go over those here. All that we accomplished. Just want to make sure you are on our email list. Is every Monday we'll send out a recap email, and the best way that I know of that we can partner with you guys is sending you what we're talking about, so that way it's brought home. So on Monday when we send you, hey, this is what we've talked about, here's some questions. Most of the time those are questions that we've actually asked in small group. And so when you ask your kid, hey, what did you learn on Sunday? They just say nothing, or how was church? Oh, it was good. Now you get to ask more specific questions. That's our goal in this, for it to be brought home, for them to continue to talk about what they learn on Sunday mornings or what they learn on Wednesday nights. And so that's what that email's for. And so I hope that you'll take it, you'll read it, and you'll actually challenge your kids and ask your kids those specific questions that they learned from the previous Sunday. You'll see a parent resource page on the email. That's an important lock. We originally created that with our small group leaders in mind to equip them on, hey, this is how we address situations. This is where we stand on certain situations. Josh and I took the time to write it. And so you also, I believe, deserve access to it. And so there's a bunch of hot topics on there that you can go and read as a parent. Maybe you're struggling, your child is struggling, or you yourself are struggling in one of these areas, but hopefully it can better equip you. There's one I would like to highlight specifically, and that's a website that we found. You'll see a link on there. It's called A Helpful Parent's Guide. And so you can find that link. It's probably towards the very, very bottom of it if you're looking at it on your phone. And that's a website. We haven't read every single article on there. Obviously, there's a ton, but it's got all of the big topics. If you need help with your child struggling with anxiety, depression, self-harm, a lot of different things, vaping, it has articles on there for you to be able to read to understand fully what it is and maybe how to address it better as a parent, because we know that's tough. And so those are ways that I hope that you can be better resourced as a parent. Ultimately, the biggest thing that we discussed on Sunday morning is just the need, well, at least what I have seen and our small group leaders have discussed and also are in agreement, the need to see just more time spent with our high school students. I think the 20 minutes that we have, sometimes 25 minutes we have on Sunday morning isn't enough to invest into them deeply and to truly disciple them. And so we've been weighing two options for ultimately changing the way small groups work for high school. Middle school would stay the same, but option one is for Sunday mornings to be large group only for high school and small groups to be outside of that. So we would be dependent upon the small group leaders, your child's two small group leaders are, and when they could meet, that would be when their small group would be each week. And so some of them would meet maybe right after church on Sunday. Some would meet Sunday afternoon. I know many of our leaders can't really do much during the week, but there could be a potential of one during the week. But ultimately, this would be whenever the small group leaders can meet, we would communicate to you as a family, and that would be your child's small group time each week. So that's option one. Option B, we discussed this in our meeting, and this was overwhelmingly the favorite, would be to continue as we currently exist. So continue to have our 20 to 25 minute small group on Sunday morning, but have a once a month gathering outside of that that's more focused on discipleship for students to be able to, for us to be able to have more extended time with your kids, to be able to pour into them, answer their questions, walk through life with them, get to know them better, them to get to know us better, to trust us, and whatnot. And so it looks like, at least based off of the 16 or so different families that were represented in that meeting when we took a vote, it was overwhelmingly, I think maybe everybody almost would said option B would be better for them to be able to, just with the busyness of their schedule, they see the need. Everybody saw the need. And so I would just like to hear from you guys. I know that was a small sample size. Many of the parents weren't able to be there. And so I would just like for you to respond back to this, please, with letting me know, hey, option one, I think that we need to go full force into this. And every week they need to have extended time where they can have an hour and a half, an hour together in small group outside of Sunday mornings. Or let me know if you're option B of like, hey, let's continue to meet where they can have something on Sunday mornings. And once a month, I'm going to do my best to commit my child to being there for this extra just discipleship time. So that's ultimately where our discussion lied at. We also discussed just some changes that we should make in rules, I guess I should say, for our youth ministry regarding a phone policy. Just seeing a ton of students on their phones during service and inappropriate things also being done on phones at times, and just them not focusing and not connecting with others because the phone is always out, and so just evaluating that. Going to talk with our small group leaders on if we should have a phone policy, submit that to you, ask for you to be in this with us and agree with this. Also a bathroom policy. We just see a lot of students go to the bathroom. It's usually the same students going to the bathroom, hanging out in the bathrooms for a long period of time and going to get water multiple times during worship and just trying, I think, to do anything to not have to be there and sit and listen. So maybe installing some type of bathroom policy with like a bathroom pass so only one can go at a time and it's got to be quick. And also maybe and also just thinking about dress wear, and just if we were to just communicate that to parents because of just noticing just some maybe things that we would deem to be inappropriate dress wear being worn to church. And so we're going to talk about that with our small group leaders, all of us be on the same page and commit to it because whatever we commit to doing, we have to commit to enforcing. And so we all have to be on the same page, and I want to have you guys as parents bought in for that as well. If you want to make sure your child is paying attention and focused and connecting well with other students, we need you to be able to be the primary disciple maker and own that responsibility for your children. So ultimately, I just want to hear from you as parents. If there's a better way I could support you as a parent, please let me know. I'm not a parent, Camille and I, Lord willing, I will be one day, but I don't know what it's like, and I can't say I know what it's like to raise teenagers, and I know it can be hard just with the situations I deal with on a weekly basis that the teenagers do on Sundays or Wednesdays, or that we're helping walk through with your team. But if there's better ways that you feel like we can support you, please let me know. If there's a specific way I can pray over you, please let me know. I'm honored to be able to do what I do, humble to be able to do what I do, that the Lord would call me to it. And I appreciate you guys. God bless.